Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video we'll be talking about Kliff Kingsbury, and a lot of Washington Commanders fans are worried that the Kliff Kingsbury middle of the season, end of the season, downfall is coming. So I'm going to be talking about that. Don't get too worked up about it. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. We're less than 10, or we're around 10 subscribers away from 13,900. So go ahead and do it. Takes a second. It's free. So let's get into it. So yesterday was not a great game for the Washington Commanders, and it was an awful game for the offense. They scored 10 points. And yeah, basically in today's video, we're going to be talking about Kliff Kingsbury, going over his history and how it hasn't been pretty the second half of the year. Not going to lie to you guys. But also I'm going to be talking about the second half of this year and how I think, things could maybe be different. So don't get too upset over the title of the video. Got to get you guys to click on it. We're not trying to do clickbait or anything, because that's what we're talking about. Is the downfall of Kliff Kingsbury coming? So if you don't know, Kliff always usually has a great start to the season. You look at 2013, 2014, 2015. A lot of years were solid starts. Some of these years here at Texas Tech were like 3-4, 3-4, 4-3, and same thing with the Cardinals. But one thing that has been constant and consistent / constant, I guess, same thing, is his end of the season. 1-5, 1-4, 2-4, 2-3, 2-4, 0-5, 2-7, 3-6, 3-5. And at USC, the thing is, it is different, But at USC, they were also bad at the second half of the year. But let's keep it real. He was like the quarterback's coach / whatever. He wasn't the head coach. That's Lincoln Riley. And he's not the head coach here, so that's something to realize as well. The Washington Commanders don't have him he's not the head coach for the Washington Commanders. So things are different than when he was with, the Cardinals. He had to put his attention way more on other stuff, on the defense a little bit, making sure guys are locked in for the game, special teams, making sure coaches are locked in. Versus offense, you have to worry about half the amount of things, which is good in Texas Tech. He was the head coach there as well, and that's a whole nother, ball game with college. But Kliff, the first 8 games this season, averaging around 27 points per game, 5.8 yards per play, and now we're averaging around, or the last, 4 games. What are we, 7-4? So last 3 games, 21 or 22 points a game and 5 yards a play. So it's been definitely a little bit of a down tick, and I think part of it is Kliff, part of it is Jayden. I know some people are saying Jayden's not hurt. He's hurt, guys. Like, you watch the film, and even just watching the game. I haven't watched the film on this game yet, but I've seen some all 22 footage from guys on Twitter / X, whatever you want to call it. But his throwing and his technique is definitely different now with the injury versus what it was before. And you can see he's missing throws he never would have missed. The one to Noah Brown that hit his feet, there was a few other, similar to that, where you're like, he's not missing this if he's healthy. And you look at some of the throws he, has made in the past, and you're like, yeah, he's not fully healthy, and it shows. So I think that is definitely affecting the offense, is affecting, how sometimes he's taking sacks. He might not be able to, wiggle as much in and out of tackles like he has in the past. Definitely is affecting him. And then also the throwing. He's not able, especially with the way he throws. I was reading, I think it was my guy Jared who was talking about it. Shout out Jared if you're watching this. I was talking about, the way Jayden throws. His ribs are going to affect him a lot more than someone like Justin Herbert, who had a similar injury. So this 10-day rest is going to be big for the offense, and Kliff is going to have to show out. This is a big game against the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to have Micah Parsons back. You're going to have to do well. And I just go into let's talk about the play calling in this past game. Down 16 and you're running the ball in 3rd and 5. They ended up scoring on that drive, but that was also garbage time defense kind of. But you're still technically in the game. They're playing prevent defense. Why are you running the ball? Why are you running the ball? It just makes no sense at all. And they didn't, they got, it was 3rd and 5. They maybe got 1 or 2 yards. And, after that, they ended up getting it on 4th down, I believe. But it just does not make sense. It doesn't make sense what they're doing here, or what he was doing there. The runs were not working, especially the short yardage runs. It's like you're going up against Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, 2 big stud defensive tackles from Georgia, don't run up the middle, run to the side. I mean, it's not like they have, bums there, but it's a lot easier to run on the outside against the Eagles, I believe, than it is against, in the inside. And they didn't do that. Maybe they didn't like the matchups there with Wiley off the injury and Brandon Coleman. I don't know. I would have ran, on the outside. And then, there was one time, 2nd and 2, you just had a big run. I was saying, let's do a little play action or something. Maybe you run it to the outside with B-Rob, but I wasn't really feeling that. Guess what they do? Your quarterback's injured. You run him up the middle, QB draw. I think they lost 2 yards on the play, and he got hit really hard. It just was not the move. And then on that 4th down, 4th and 2, which that's probably Dan Quinn's decision. Maybe it's Kliff's, but probably Dan Quinn's decision. I didn't like the decision to go for the touchdown or go for it on 4th down there. Kick the field goal. Your kicker's been good. You're gonna go up by 1, and who knows what happens after that. But they don't. And Jayden bobbles it. I guess it wasn't executed properly, and then he gets hit really hard on the side there. Just another not so great play call. I don't know what it was supposed to be. Offensive linemen were also not executing that much as well. But yeah, I agree with Kevin Sheehan here saying, what the heck. So, I mean, I'm not gonna whatever. I know sometimes YouTube has some policies there, so I'm not gonna say it. But what the heck is that play calling down 16? Try harder. And yeah, I agree with him. Every word he said there. It just, I didn't like that and some other play calls in that game. Going for it on 4th and 2 there. The move or the play call wasn't good. I don't think the decision was good. And yeah, the runs up the middle were not great. Brian Robinson wasn't really doing that much on short yard situations yesterday. He had a couple nice runs, but him and Eckler didn't have their best game on the ground yesterday. Eckler had a good game receiving, and the offensive line also was not good. So it's been a couple bad games for Kliff. I mean, even last week wasn't awful for Kliff. I mean, they scored 26, 27 points, and and Jayden wasn't on. So I think some people are overreacting with Kliff. Yes, he had an awful game yesterday, for sure. And then I think they see that awful game, and we're on a 2-game losing streak, and then you look at these graphics like this, and you're like, shoot, is the Kliff Kingsbury downfall coming? It might be coming, but I don't think we have to worry too much yet. Let's see what they do against the Titans. What they do against the Cowboys, what they do against the Titans. Let's see what they do, and when Jayden's healthy, because I just don't think Jayden's fully healthy right now. And is that 100% an excuse for him? No, because he's missing some reads, some open guys. He's just completely missing them. So it's not all you can't blame it all on the injury, but Jayden definitely is affected by the injury and is missing some throws he normally wouldn't miss. And some of the other stuff is rookie stuff that you expect from a rookie, but then we had this great play by him in the beginning of the year, and you're not used to this play by him, and the injury also makes it worse as well, and it might bring more out of the injury might bring more of the rookie flaws out of him because he can't work his magic as much as he usually does. He's saying the injury's fine and whatever, but we heard the reports during the game that, whatever, he was going to be great. They might see him grimacing, and you see him on the sideline. He's getting the treatment every time the Commanders are in defense. So clearly the injury is at least slightly bothering him. And at the quarterback position where you have to throw, and that movement every single time you're going back to throw, that's affecting that rib area. If you've ever had like a rib or like oblique type of injury, you know what I'm talking about. So, we'll see. I think we can't really judge Kliff too much until, if this continues for more than just 2 games. And even, again, the Steelers game wasn't bad. You can say the Bears game was, sure. The Bears game wasn't that great. The Giants game was the red zone stuff in the Bears game wasn't great. So I think it's a more wait and see type of thing. Don't get too upset about how the offense was yesterday until we got these guys healthy. Because the tackles all, Coleman coming off an injury. You have, Wiley coming off an injury. Lucas wasn't playing. Maybe they put him in there and that makes it look better. And then obviously Jayden with that injury as well. So I think the offense is going to look better. We'll come back to this video in a couple weeks after the Cowboys and the Titans game, and we'll see if the offense is still struggling. Then it's time to really, really worry. But right now, I think we got to chill and see what happens when the offense is a little bit healthier, and this, long extra week is going to help, I think. And I think the short week definitely didn't help because, Jayden didn't have as much time to recover, and that's probably why he wasn't as effective. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, do all that good stuff. It does help out the channel a ton. And comment down below. Let's go Sean McVay. Sean McVay, a good offensive coordinator here for the Redskins. Peace.